So we want to end the podcast with a quick little story from childhood. We used to have, I know we talked a little bit about like having family videos, right? So we would, at this beach house, it's a famous, infamous, some might say, this beach house in Rhode Island. And we would have these videos. There was one video, but on that week, we'll talk about that video, that home video later. But at that week, we were really into Britney Spears at the time. This was like 2002. I remember 2002. I just know it's 2002. And we were listening to like her first album. I know it came out earlier than that, but we were listening to the first album. And we also were very aware of the music video, like her first music video, where she was like in that school girl uniform. So cringy. And we were dancing in the beach house bedroom, one of them jumping on the bed. And we like tied our shirts like a regular long shirt, not a crop top, long shirt. And we would tie it so like you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm not going on, but you remember
Yeah.
this, right? Yes.
Yes. Like you tuck it in over the top and then
Yeah,
you
yeah.
like
So
pull it
it,
down so that it's kind of like a bra.
so yeah, basically it's like a long sleeve with the bra. I'm like, this is very Britney Spears in that one music video when she's like going through the school, and we're like, wow, so cool. And so that would be us jumping around, just
Yeah. Or
jamming.
years later wearing a tie to school because Avril Lavigne.
Yeah, we're very influenced by pop culture, and each other.
I remember like making a pact with each other that we were gonna both do that. Do you remember that?
I think I kind of do. Yeah, actually, wasn't that in at the
It was in like
CCD?
middle school.
No, it was in middle school. It was earlier than that. It was like, well, yeah, it's 11, maybe 10, maybe something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like fifth grade. Yeah.
Yeah. And were we in like my CCD class? Like my CCD, it was not CCD, but like I have a memory of like, it was some church activity, but we
I
were,
think it was too. I feel like I went to your CCD
yeah, you
class.
went to
I
my
feel like I remember
CCD,
that.
but it wasn't during active hours. It was just in the building because the building was across from where the church was. Like there was a church event going on, and we went into the CCD building, and we were
Yes,
just
yes, I remember this.
yes, and we were in the CCD building, and
Was it the festival?
it was some kind of festival, probably, yeah. And they had like they would serve food in that building too, I think. And we went upstairs to like one of the classrooms, and then you were wearing like the Avril Lavigne tie and stuff like that. And I do remember talking about that. Like we were trying to be like skaters, like we're so cool. Um, and
Oh my
so
God,
yeah,
so funny.
from Britney Spears to Avril Lavigne to other kinds of style icons of the early 2000s. We've seen it all.
Beth has a story that I don't remember, so this will be fun.
Okay, so I am so positive that you'll remember this. And hopefully, parents aren't watching because, like, this was a hidden secret thing that we did. That sounds weird. When one of my parents were at my house, my parents weren't there. Like, I think our moms went off somewhere, and I don't know. And then my dad I don't know if he was there or not either. But we ordered like secret pizza, and we like got
Oh yeah.
like we got like, and okay, people probably thinking, why is it a big deal to order a pizza? Now, don't worry about that. But but we ordered a secret pizza, and then we got like, I think it was only like a small. We ate the pizza really fast. It came with, we had to get a soda with it because didn't meet the minimum delivery requirement. So we had to get the
Oh yeah.
soda, and then we finished the pizza, and we were like, oh no, the soda. how are we going to finish a 2 liter of soda? And they're going to know that we ate pizza secretly. And now we have a soda bottle. What to do? And so we flushed the soda, the remainder soda down the toilet. And then we did something with the bottle. I think we must have just recycled it or something. And
We had to hide all the evidence.
yeah, hide all the evidence. And do you remember this now?
Yes, I do. And I also remember the why. I don't know if we've mentioned this before. We're both Portuguese, so our parents are like very frugal and very like sorry, my headphones just died. But they're very frugal and like very like health oriented, and they were like really strict too growing up.
Yeah.
So like we weren't like supposed to like have a lot of like bad food and like like spend money on like delivery. Like what? No, we would pick the pizza up. Like so that was probably why we felt like we had to order a secret pizza. Right, Beth? I'm assuming like that's what the
pretty
reason
much right.
was, but yeah.
Yeah.
Times.
Yeah.
So Beth, do you remember that time when I got my first camera and I was trying to figure out like the depth of field and like I wanted to like make a picture that like there was like a blurry background with like you in focus and like you were like the first person I like got it right on.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
Christmas and we were like out in the like we were out like at nighttime basically like in the dusk and like I remember like it clicking and like I got the shot and then like I thought it was like so good. I was like so proud of myself and like recently I like went back and like looked at those pictures and like they're like so grainy like I don't like it was awesome. It was an awesome moment.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
But anyway, we just want to end this podcast episode with just one thing from a classic memory. And we talked about this on a call, like one of our calls that we did like a while ago or like last week or something. And we're talking about, you remember growing up, we used to call each other a lot. And did we call each other a lot on our cell phones?
Oh my God. Oh no, we called on landlines. Okay, so Beth, like from how many years ago was that?
I don't know.
How many years ago?
We
were
had a
calling on
landline for a while. Like we had it longer than other.
But it had to have been like
over
10, 15
10,
years
15
ago.
years, something like that, yeah.
Over 10 or 15 years ago when we would call on landlines because we didn't have cell phones. We did not have cell phones yet. I didn't have a cell phone until I was like 14, 15.
Yeah. We were like
and I think you were like similar.
Yeah, I was like 15, 16.
So we would always call on a landline. And so Beth, like, of course, you know, this is who she is. She has a great memory. She recited my landline from like 15 years ago without missing a beat. And then here I am feeling like a shite person because I can't even remember the first 3 digits of hers. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay. And then I get 1 digit from the first 3. And then I get, you know, the next one and then the next one.
It was
and
so
then
funny.
I literally was so stuck. You tell the rest because I feel like you'll say it better than me.
You took out your phone and then you were like, let's see if my muscle memory.
I had to type it into my phone to be able to remember it. Like I put in the first 3 digits. Then I think I got the next 3 too, like kind of like one in a row.
You got the first 3 after, you know, first 3 you needed help with to figure out, but the last 4 you got right away. Like you remember the whole chunk at once.
No, I know that part, but I was just trying to think of like it took me a bit to figure out just the area code. And then I figured out with a little bit of help like the next 3 and then literally I typed those 6 digits in, the area code of the first 3, and then I go like and I just blurted out the last 4 and I don't even know where it came from. Like, and it was just this wild moment because I made Beth literally stay on the phone with me for like 10 minutes so I could try to remember it. Like, I was like, no, Beth, I know it. Like, I know it. And then I would just sit there in silence trying to think for like a whole minute until she would
It
give
was
me another
funny.
hint. But then, literally after like 10 minutes of like making her wait around for this, I like got the last four in like a second. Like as soon as I typed it out on my phone, there was like a moment, and then I was like, oh my God. And I said the last four. And it was just, you had to be there
It
really,
was
because
so
I was like
funny.
screaming and
You were
like jumping off the
around.
couch
Yeah,
and
it
like
was.
basically being like, I got it. Like it was just like really funny. And I really wish it was recorded because it's just not as funny now
I
that I'm
know,
just
it
talking
was
about it.
so fun.
But
Honestly, I should have recorded it. It was so funny.
like the like
It's just so funny how like your memory works. It's like you'll remember,
I know.
you know it in chunks. Like, because whenever you talk about phone numbers, right?
Yeah,
You
no,
don't do
like
one at a time. You know, like the first three and then the last four, and like, that's how like you know it. It's just kind of funny.
and like for me, I always remember and learn best by actually doing something.
Yeah,
So all it took was me just typing out the numbers on my phone for the rest to come back.
yeah, it was so good.
Um,
It was such a good moment.
And I really, at that point, had almost given up. Like, I'm pretty sure Beth had given up. She did not think I really knew. And then, boom, boom shakalaka. Um, it all came crashing back.
It was so funny. Oh my god! But I believed in you. I didn't. I just didn't think that you were gonna say the last four so fast, like
I
out of
know.
nowhere. I thought you were gonna do like one.
That's why it was so funny. Because
Yeah.
I didn't, it wasn't like I was like, oh, it's this, 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 and this.
Yeah.
I was like, what are your, what was it again?
All right, everyone. Here's my phone number. The last four is one beep beep
Yeah. So then, like, out of nowhere, I'm just like,
beep.
like, after, like, having to get one at a time for, like,
Yeah.
the first six.
Because you're talking about the beach, maybe you can share some funny beach memories that we've had, because if there's a place that we've been to, it's the beach.
Didn't we all have matching swimsuits at one point?
You know,
from
I
that?
literally was gonna say that. I was going to say that.
There was a place, it's probably still there, that we got those bathing suits from. Do you remember where we got them from? It's the store we always stopped at when we realized we forgot something before we were at our rental in Rhode Island.
Benny's.
Benny's, yes. We would always stop there because we always would have something that we forgot.
But
Whether it be like like I remember one time buying a cooler, another
Oh, yeah, I
time
remember
it was
the
like
cooler.
bathing suits. That was like our go-to to like stock
That's
up
true,
on like beach
that's true.
necessities before our family vacation.
well,
I'm trying to think of, oh, do you remember? Oh, this is funny. This is really funny.
Okay.
I don't know how I got this notion in my head, but somehow little me had this notion that we could make waves happen.
Oh yeah. Okay, this is classic.
You remember?
This is a classic. I still do this just for nostalgia.
Me too. I didn't know that. I didn't know you still did it. I still do it. I really believed that we could make the waves bigger by stomping our feet on the ground
Yep.
into the earth.
Yep.
And I had like a whole theory for it. I was like, it has to do with the moon. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
where I got this
remember you
idea.
said that. Yeah.
I seriously don't know where it came from. It's so like,
Well, because the moon
it's so,
controls the tides, right?
yeah, but I don't know how it tied in with like the stomping of the feet.
Yeah, that's sad. That's not.
I just
that's
know-
irrelevant, but
I feel like someone told it to me or I read it somewhere. It was like a word of mouth, like, I don't know. It was hearsay. But maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But anyway, we really thought it was working though. We were there all in a line. Me, you, and Rochelle. We were in a line, stomping as hard as we could in the water. We were like, because we really wanted to boogie board. Like, we wanted some good waves.
Well, it's true because, and then like, 'cause you know how they come in lulls, right? You have a lot of lulls in between like waves, and so in
Yeah.
between all these like lulls, like let's summon some more waves. Let's go.
And
And
then
then-
we would be like confirmed that it worked because the lull was over.
Because like naturally the wave is gonna happen again.
Yeah, like, oh, we did it, guys.
Everyone, job well done.
I guess it was a way, if nothing else, it was a way to pass the time in between the
Yeah, exactly.
lulls.
It was just like, yeah, what else are you gonna do? Just stand there.
Yeah.
Literally, just stand there and stomp, I guess. But yeah, that was so much fun. And then sometimes like a way to make the waves bigger was to just crouch down, and we were like play a game where just like you can't get up. Like okay, the rule is like you cannot get above, you can't stand, and if you
Yeah.
stand, then you lose the game. That's
Yep.
how to
I
make the
remember that
waves
actually.
bigger. I think that was a game brought to you by Josh. I'm pretty sure Josh. That was a Josh game.
I didn't remember that it was him, but that makes sense. Um, whose idea was it to play Avalanche in your basement?
It was probably Josh or Isaac. One of
That's about
them.
right.
I can't really remember.
So to
Uh,
explain, there were
Usually
like
Josh.
these, your basement was like renovated, but there were like benches sort of like um in front of the TV in the basement, and then above the benches there was like small crawl spaces.
So they're,
Um
well, it's like they're not actual benches. It's just like built in. They're like couches built
yeah, they're
in,
like seats
seats,
or couches
and
built
then it's a
in.
crawl space. There's a crawl space above the couch. So there's like the ground, then you have the couch, then you have the crawl space. And it's like diagonal, you can go diagonal down them. So it's like steps almost, it looks like.
Yes, yes. So we used to pile up we'd take all the couch cushions off and pile them up in like a angled slope.
Yeah.
And then what would we do? Would we ride one single couch cushion down, or what did we use? I don't even remember.
I can't remember either. But I also think it has to do, like, I think we also had this idea from like the Princess Diaries, because there's that one scene in the second movie where they're riding.
Oh my god. That's how we thought of it. I know that's how we thought of it. I know it. I know it in my bones. I wanted to do that so badly when we
I
saw
know,
that
it
movie. I
looks
was
like-
so jealous.
It looks like so much
Um,
fun.
I know that we tried that instantly, but then it became a thing. Like we would do
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
every time that I came
Yeah,
over.
we always called it Avalanche though. So like, yeah, I'm not sure, but we did that for
Did
a
it?
long
I feel like
time. I'm not sure what came first, to be honest.
yeah, I don't know.
But we used to pile like a bunch of stuff like on the couches, and we were responsible. We put like cushioning on the floor.
Yeah, we always made sure that it was safe.
Because I was a tile basement, by the way.
Yeah.
So
There were probably some close calls. But.
there were some close calls. But yeah, you know, I think we slid down. I don't know. I think either we slid down just like freestyle, or we used the pillow, or both. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Me neither. I wish I could remember.
But we done it
It'll
so
come to me
many,
later.
so many times, though. Honestly, so many times.
A lot. It was like
Constantly.
one of our favorite things
Yeah, it
to
was like
do.
constantly just rolling, and it would be at like bad times during the day. Like it'd be 1 a.m.
Yes.
Do you know how many times
Your
our parents
mom-
had to come
Your
in?
mom would. You guys are making a racket. We're trying to sleep.
Because we were just
It's
all
like 2 in the
sequestered
morning.
downstairs.
We're like hopped up on sugar that we stole from the gas station. Well, not stole.
we didn't
but
steal from the gas.
sugar that we bought illegally from the gas station.
Bought
And
illegally?
by illegally, I mean we would hide it from our parents because it was illegal in the house.
Oh, okay. I'm like, we weren't that rebel.
No, we weren't that crazy. We did actually pay for everything. We never stole anything, but there was lots of times we snuck to the gas station to get snacks in secret.
Yeah,
then-
exactly. Yeah.
We would have them late at night and keep our parents up.
It probably wasn't even. I bet it wasn't even that secret. I bet like my parents knew.
They probably knew.
Because we lived right next to a gas station.
Yeah.
And we were there all the time, so they probably knew it was gonna happen. Like,
Yeah.
it's natural. But yeah, we were just like sequestered to the basement like all the time. Like, we're just okay, basement, go, stay in the basement, like, which is fine.
It was like so we wouldn't bother everyone. No, no, we just we play video games down there. It was our own little
Yeah.
space.
Yeah. It still is it's still pop in place. Just ask Josh or Isaac. They're still spending all the time there, so that much has not changed. Um
No, no shade. I was just gonna
no
say
shade.
no shade.
No shade. Can't blame them.
It's a really peaceful place. Can't blame them.
Hey, I mean, it's nice. It's a nice basement. It's small, but it's nice.
It's a good one. Lastly, we have our final segment, which is our childhood memories.
I have one. I was just randomly thinking about this today because it's summer and I'm thinking about going. Obviously, I'm going back to the East Coast. I was talking to that with you a little bit ago. Going back to the East Coast, and I was just thinking about a trip that we went on with your dad and Rochelle. Do you remember where we went in the summer of 2011?
I don't. I couldn't tell you. Timelines don't work the same for me as they do other people.
So,
what was I? How old was I? Let's see. What grade was?
I'm going to pop in a photo of us on this trip. I'll give you a hint. You guys randomly came to my house and in the evening.
Oh, I know. I know what it is. That's not even what made me think of it. I just kind of remembered the only trip that we've been on with just my dad.
Yeah, it was just
you and Rochelle.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was going to cover it.
Yeah, it just took me a minute. It's been a long day. But
okay.
Yes, there's pictures from this trip. It was we went to the Outer Banks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just randomly, my dad was like, spontaneously, let's go to the Outer Banks and rent a cabin on the beach. It was hot. I remember that cabin being so hot at night.
Yeah, it was.
You remember
that? God. Well, I just unlocked that memory to me. It was super hot.
It was so hard to sleep. There was no fan or AC because we were so underprepared for this trip that we took last minute.
So true. They randomly came up to my house at 8 p.m. and it was during summer, so I didn't have school. And yeah, so we're gonna go to North Carolina. Want to go with us? And I'm like,
how old are you?
I'm
12?
16. No, it was 2011.
Oh, we were 16? Wait. Oh yeah, you were. Yeah. I remember now. I thought we were younger, but no, you're right. We were definitely freshman year of high school.
It was 2011, so we were coming into
sophomore year.
Junior.
Wow. Okay.
2011.
I look really young in those pictures, so I just
I looked young all through high school. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And no, it doesn't matter how old I was. But yeah, so anyway, that's not something at that point. But yeah, so I was so unprepared and I can't do spontaneous trips, so I was real hesitant. I was like, okay.
I don't remember you being hesitant.
Because I was I'm sorry, I had to plan real fast. I remember being so unprepared.
You're I have to pack.
I have nightmares about being unprepared I literally do. I literally have recurring nightmares of me having to go somewhere and not being prepared. Or me being lost in an airport and me being where's my bag? I get travel,
Gotcha.
anxiety. Anyway, so even from a young age, I was that.
Yeah, so we just road trip.
Yeah.
We just scooped you on a random day. We just road trip to North Carolina. We stayed in this cabin, and then it was a cabin on a campground. It was a KOA campground.
Yeah, KOA. Yeah.
And all y'all that have been to a KOA campground, y'all know.
Yeah. It was fun. I just remember your dad playing Pink Floyd songs the entire time.
I wonder if he was I don't know.
The entire
I don't remember Pink Floyd.
Oh,
I'm surprised he didn't bring his banjo and play banjo the whole time.
While driving? No, this is while he was driving. Down there.
Oh, while he was driving. Yep, I remember. He was on his hyper fixated Pink Floyd.
That was probably that. And I remember in the New Jersey road, what was the wrong with the New Jersey driving? Do you remember this? We were driving in New Jersey, and what was the main problem?
The smell.
The smell. Exactly. It was horrible.
New Jersey stinks.
Hot take. New Jersey
Hot take. New Jersey stinks.
We were like on the highway. For some reason, a Garden State? Come on now.
Doesn't smell like a garden.
Oh God. I'm sure it's fine. I've been to New Jersey
Smelled
since
like
then.
a literal sewer.
But it smelled, for some reason, on like one of these main highways. It was horrible. And it was like 2 a.m. and we're like driving, listening to Pink Floyd, and just like smelled really bad. This is just what I remember.
Like, we definitely stopped at some, like, really sketch gas stations, too. Didn't Rochelle, like, almost get food poisoning?
I'm sure she did.
Was that trip?
There was
I'm pretty
also-
sure we, like, stopped and got, like, frozen. She, like, wanted frozen yogurt or something. Maybe this wasn't that trip.
We
But I have,
stopped,
like,
we
a
did-
memory.
We stopped at multiple stops, and one of them was a gas station. And then we also remembered there was a gas station, like, once again, this is like in the middle of the night, and there were like cats everywhere. Do you remember this?
Oh my god, yes,
There
I
was
do.
like cats everywhere in this gas
That
station.
just unlocked a memory for me. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yep.
Stray Cat Central. I
It
like
was so
don't really
weird.
remember what any of the cats looked like, but I definitely remember
Yeah, I don't either.
all the cats.
Yeah, it was. I remember being like, "Why? There's so many cats." Anyway, we did have fun at the beach.
Yeah, hopefully that unlocked some memories for anyone else's road trips through New Jersey. Or anyone who's been to a KOA campground.
Yeah, when you have to travel that long, you're gonna see some weird things.
Yeah, that was such a fun. I remember having fun like jumping on that trampoline in the campground though.
I have a vague memory of that. I think I do. Yeah, there was also that
Um,
one guy that was like there with us too. That just kind of was in the area. Do you remember that?
No,
There
was
was
it like a friend
random-
of my dad's?
No, it's just random.
Or was it like a kid our age?
This random teenager was like hanging.
Oh yeah, it
around
was like
us.
I remember that. No, I remember there was another kid kind of our age. He was a little younger than us, I think,
He was. Oh.
right? Maybe not. I don't know. But there was definitely like young children
There
there,
were
and then there was
kids
like
around too. Like there were like
someone that was like,
younger.
oh no, there was someone more. Now I remember I think he
Yeah.
was older.
Yeah. We were like
Um,
went off and then talked to this guy. I remember.
We did?
Yeah, we had like these weird. I don't know what the conversations were, but I don't know if Rochelle was there or
Maybe were we like in the camp store? I feel like I vaguely remember
not.
being in
Yeah,
the camp store and talking to someone.
yeah, maybe. I remember there was also picnic
I don't know, but it was
tables.
right on the beach, so
Yeah,
that
it was
nice.
literally right on the beach. Yeah, and there's like cute like beach, and it was like sand dunes. Like it was really pretty.
It was pretty. It was actually a nice campground.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, I would go again sometime. I
Yeah,
haven't been to
maybe
North
with like
Carolina.
a fan this time.
Yeah, and yeah, more prepared. At least
More prepared,
at least
yeah.
a couple days in advance. Anyway,
Lastly, we have our nostalgia. So we're gonna share a childhood memory, and I have one this week, and it's from when we used to swim in your pool, Beth, when we were a lot younger, and we used to do the whirlpool game.
rest
Now,
in
I don't know if
peace,
anyone
pool.
who's listening knows the whirlpool game. This was our favorite game, and we played a lot of games. We played Marco Polo. We played a lot of
All the
games. But I
classics.
feel like we always started with this one. We would always play Whirlpool. We would just basically, if you don't know, you run through the water around the edges of the pool, and you have to get multiple people to do this
Yeah,
until
easier. Yeah,
the pool becomes a whirlpool.
it
It
works.
takes time to build up. It does work, but it takes a long time. And I remember your pool was not completely round,
It's
so it was extra hard.
like oval. Yeah.
It was like oval, yeah. So it was a little bit harder. You had to work like a little bit harder to get it going. But
also-
then the fun thing that would happen is that like at some point somebody would randomly decide to like cut the
across,
whirlpool.
and it
So
ruined
that
it.
was like a really
Isaac.
cool feeling. Yeah, it's usually Isaac. I was gonna say that. Like, just decides they want to stop the whirlpool. They just go right through the center where it's doing the spinny thing. Usually it was Isaac. Yes.
Yeah. Isaac's my brother. Yeah, so he did that. And it was very frustrating. But usually the more people that you have, like it's the easier to like get it up and going
to
again.
get it going. Yeah.
But it was
I remember a
fun
couple times.
because the best part of it is like when you have it up and going, you just like float very fast around the
Yes, it
water.
becomes like a lazy river
Yeah,
almost.
yeah, it's really
Like you can
fun.
just let go and like it just carries you around the edges of the pool.
Yeah.
So that is the reason why we would do it. It wasn't just to make it look cool.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, it literally just carry you around, and it got easier and easier to like move across because it literally would just carry you. But yeah, good times. Now the pool is no longer there. My parents got rid of it like a year or
Sad.
two ago. It's very sad. Now it's gonna be a greenhouse. Now it is a greenhouse. They have a greenhouse there now instead where the pool is. So they can go plants or
Rest in peace.
whatever.
Yeah, rest in peace, our childhood memories.
Now plants are growing where my childhood memory died. Our nostalgic memory. Obviously, I have to say, I visited you most recently because it brought back nostalgic memories. Because we only got to see each other for part of the day. I was in Rhode Island just got back from Newport and I was in Narragansett. We met up at Narragansett Beach. My dad was there. Then he met us there, but you didn't see my dad. You were there later, but we were just at the beach. We hadn't been to the beach together in so long,
So
especially in
long.
Narragansett. Like we haven't been to Narragansett together in a while. We went to a
And we used to go
beach.
there
Yeah,
all of the time.
yeah, all the time. And I was there with Sean, you, me, and we were in the water. We were having a good time. We were doing our wave game underwater, which is what is that, Allie?
So when we were little, we got it in our heads somehow that we could make the waves bigger. We really wanted big waves because we wanted to boogie board. So we had this idea that if we stomped while we were in the water, stomped on the ground as hard as we could,
Mm-hmm.
that it would somehow it had something to do with the moon. Our theory had something to do with the moon. That if we stomped in the water hard enough,
Mm-hmm.
it would influence the moon's pull on the water somehow so that we could make the waves bigger and we could make waves come. So we would be standing there in the water, stomping our feet on the sand. And, we would get proof that it worked because after a lull, the waves would come back.
And
And
we
we'd
knew
be
it
like,
all
see?
along. We did it. We did it, Allie. So,
We got to explain that to Sean.
yeah, that was fun. Jury's still out to see if it actually worked, but the waves
I still think
did.
it worked.
The waves did come. So you decide. Um, but then of course afterwards he went to a restaurant that he went to a couple times, had some oysters.
Yeah, we've been there with our families before when we were younger, so it was cool to go back. But it's Captain Jack's
Captain Jack's and
near East Mattock State
yeah,
Beach.
and had some clam strips, and really that's I
I had a
really
mudslide. Didn't the waiter? No, it wasn't the waiter. It was one of my friends. When I got back, I told them I ordered a mudslide, and he was like, "I haven't seen someone order a mudslide in like a really long time."
what is it, Allie? What kind of drink is that?
It's basically like a milkshake, but with alcohol.
It Yeah, I tasted it and it was mostly just milkshake. Like they
It
really
was so good.
it tasted really good. Like it covers up most of the
Yours was really good
alcohol.
too.
Yeah, mine was good too. I kind of forgot what it was. What was it again? Pina colada, right?
It was like I don't think it was a pina colada, but it was so close to a pina colada.
It was something really similar. I don't know why I'm not remembering what it was called.
It definitely had like pineapple and coconut, but I don't think
Yeah,
it was technically a pina colada, but it was still a frozen drink.
yeah,
So we'll
yeah.
call it a pina colada. Um,
Yeah, it was something
yeah,
like that.
everything was so good. It was just so nice.
Yeah,
Um,
it was nice seeing Allie, and
and then
brings me
when
back.
I saw you, when I first saw you, and then Sean came and he was like, Look, it's their creative cousins.
Oh yeah, we were finally together, right? And then
Yeah. Finally together in person as the creative cousins. Because the last time we were together in person, we weren't the creative cousins yet.
that's a good point. We just now became creative. We weren't always cousins. Sorry, we were.
Wait, we were both of those things. We were creative and we were cousins, but we weren't known as the creative cousins.
Yeah, we walk down the street. Oh my god, it's the
People
creative
knew
cousins.
us. No, I'm just kidding. No one knew us. No one knew us.
Can you imagine?
Um,
Sorry, we were always cousins, but we didn't acknowledge us being creative cousins. When we were growing up, do you remember when our grandma used to cook? Like, she cooked a lot, right? She cooked constantly. I feel like she was constantly cooking. Do you remember when she
every time, I was just gonna say, like, every time I went over, I feel like there was the smell of recently cooked food.
Yeah, it was constant, and it was always good. But do you remember when she would like make like a ton of like octopus? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Yes. How could I forget? It was obviously not something my mom did or my dad did because,
My mom
you know,
never
we
did.
mostly, yeah.
That I remember at least.
So yeah, like she must have gone to the market to get like fresh octopus or something. I don't know where she even got it, but I remember being a kid and like being in the kitchen and there's like a big pot of boiling water on the stove and like octopus legs were just hanging over the side of the pot because she was boiling the octopus. And I remember like thinking as a kid, like I've never seen that before. Like this is so weird. I've never seen anybody cook octopus.
And like I
Um,
can't remember. So were they boiling it alive basically? I don't remember like how they cook it.
so I actually don't know. I have no idea,
I
but
hope
I do
not.
remember my mom like shoving the octopus tentacles in my face and being like, "Try this. It's good. It's good." And I was like, "Ugh, like no. It looks gross." Um,
I love like
and
squid. I
then
love calamari, but like I feel like octopus is like a little bit more, just a tiny bit
so
more
I feel like it's
uncommon.
one of those things that it's harder to mess up when cooking it.
Yeah.
And the best octopus I ever had, Auntie Amelia made.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, I was at her house. I don't remember why I was at her house, but Tina and Janet were there, and she had made octopus, and it was like so tender, like not overcooked. It was like perfect, like
Mm,
very well seasoned. I feel like it's a very fine line between like undercooked, like overcooking octopus, like because I've
yeah.
had it where it is overcooked and it's very rubbery and gross.
Yeah, that's
And like
true.
even like some fancy restaurants will like serve you octopus and it's like overdone and doesn't taste good and it's over seasoned. But
Yeah.
Auntie Amelia's octopus was really good. And I'm sure grandma's was too, but I don't think I ever tried it.
Yeah, I never did
Um,
either.
which is probably like a big regret. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
wish I tried it.
That's a good point. Yeah, because yeah, well,
And then do you
well.
remember how we weren't allowed in the basement when they were cooking?
Yeah, because a lot of times they would like cook in the basement, but also Grandpa had all of his like wine in the basement, and they were like, "Don't go in the basement." And then we'd be like, "Why? What's in the basement?" And no one ever said why. We're
Yeah, no
like,
one ever said why, and I don't
don't
think I
go in
ever
there.
got to go down there. I don't think I ever went there
I
and
can't
down
remember if
there.
I ever have either. I honestly don't remember because they,
I don't think we ever even knew what it looked like. Like we that's like how strict they were about us going in the basement.
yeah,
Um
we were like terrified of the basement though. It just ended up us being like scared of going in there. So it was great.
yes.
Good, thanks, guys.
But our
Um,
grandfather would make wine, so that's where he made his wine and like he grew grapes in their yard in the middle of Hartford.
yeah, yeah. Well, actually, well, on my dad's side, my grandpa also made wine, so both of my grandparents made wine,
Oh, that's cool.
also in
I didn't
Hartford.
know that.
So that's how it, that's how it goes. They grow their own grapes and they make wine. It's the most Portuguese thing you could ever imagine. Um,
It's so true.
but yeah, so yeah, I wish I'd gone in that basement.